Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those new here, my name's Nikki. I'm an author and editor and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading and all the other things I love. Now today we're here to do a booktube tag. Yay! And it is the classics book tag, which for anyone who knows me will know this is a perfect fit. Thinking of you, Alina. So we've got 10 questions to get through, so we'll kick straight off with those. Number 1, an overhyped classic you really didn't like. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I don't think there's been any that I've absolutely hated. The only one that I've really struggled with is Tristram Shandy by Lawrence Stern. I've tried twice and I've never quite been able to get through it. But however, it's not one that's hugely popular anyway, so it doesn't quite tie in with the question, but that's the only one I can think of. 2, favourite time period to read about. I'm hugely fond of Georgian England and the Georgian into the Regency period at the beginning of the 19th century as well. So anything from sort of the early to mid 1700s up until about the 1820s and 30s. Number 3, favourite fairy tale. Beauty and the Beast is probably my favourite, just because I always really identified with Belle and her love for books. Number 4, what's the most embarrassed classic you haven't read yet? I assume, I mean this question's a bit oddly phrased, but I assume they're saying which is the classic I'm most embarrassed not to have read yet. And really I've read all the major ones, and there's still some more obscure titles that I need to get to, absolutely. I haven't read every single classic ever, but I've certainly read all the big major ones, so there's none that I'm embarrassed that I haven't read or anything like that. Number 5, the top 5 classics you'd like to read soon. I guess this kind of ties into the previous question. I mean, there's quite a lot of Alexandre Dumas I still haven't read, so I definitely want to get to those. I've still got to finish off 1 or 2 more Thomas Hardy pieces, so I'd like to get to those too. And perhaps a little bit more from the German side of things. I mean, I've read Schiller, Goethe, Heine, but I haven't read very many major German novels, German classics, so I tend to do the sort of English, American, French, a little bit of Italian, so probably the German and Italian are the ones that I need to work on the most. Number 6, favourite modern book / series based on a classic. I mean, I quite enjoy the fun little things like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It's a good laugh. I like to see how they take the source material and play around with it. But Lost in Austin was also a really amusing series inspired by Pride and Prejudice on the TV, and yeah, I guess there's a couple of examples for you anyway. Number 7, favourite movie, TV series based on a classic. Wow, this is so hard because there have been so many really awesome ones. I do enjoy the Michael Fassbender Jane Eyre. Obviously the 1995 BBC Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth, like an absolute treasure. What else can I pick? The French TV version of Les Miserables is also awesome. You have to excuse me, I keep scratching my nose during this video. I've just got this really annoying little itch. Anyway, number 8, worst classics a movie adaptation. Absolutely no contenders here. It is Les Miserables. The version starring Liam Neeson as Jean Valjean. It is absolutely appalling. I don't recommend anyone watch it ever. It's totally awful. Number 9, favourite editions you'd like to collect more classics from. I don't actually own any yet, but I really love those Barnes & Noble hardcover editions of the classics. Every time I'm in a shop that sells them, I stand there and look at them longingly, but they're just so expensive, and particularly when they're classics I already own a copy of, and I can't quite justify to myself the expense of buying them. But if I had unlimited money, definitely I would get the whole of those series because they're so gorgeous. And finally, number 10, an underhyped classic you'd recommend to everyone. The Toilers of the Sea by Victor Hugo. This was an absolutely charming story. A lot of wonderful descriptions, perhaps a little bit too much. Victor Hugo does get a little carried away at times over his description, but you really got a wonderful sense of place, a sense of the sea almost as a character in its own right in the novel, and I really enjoyed Gilead's story. So that was the classics book tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again very soon with another video. Until then, goodbye everyone.